Day 12. Oh, I like this one. Day 12 on the list. Today's entry is a time capsule to be opened by Suzi on her birthday in 2012 next year. Dear Suzi, I told you so. Remember when you were asking me if we were going to get through all this and I told you we'd be fine? Ha! I was right. I bet you can't even remember how bad all this sucked. Well, that's probably a good thing, but trust me, it sucked. You got to start trusting me a little. I love you a lot. Me. I remember that one.
Quilting is a lot like biking, you know? It's an open road. You know, there's two ways you can go. You ride on the throughway, you know, get your patterns out of a book. But you know what? A lot of these quilters, like myself, like to take the back roads, right?
I was living in Atlanta, and I did a part-time job at the local NBC affiliate there, taking phone calls for school closings. And somebody said, "Oh, you have a personality for TV that, you know, might work." So I ended up doing the crazy antics and dressing up and doing characters and a lot of drag, a lot of dresses.
Stan Monroe, News Source 13.
And I think once it started getting old for me, I think as a viewer you could tell, all right, he's just not into this anymore. So, you know, I did it until it wasn't fun anymore, and then I did something else. That's when I started toothpicking. So what I started doing was trying to make different religious buildings from all different faiths, from many different countries, because when people see it, I want them to get not only a full kind of history of architecture, but all these different faiths and how each religion tries to represent itself through architecture. I would make a couple buildings while I'm doing a part-time job. I got accepted to the New York State Fair as a whole exhibit. After the New York State Fair, guy from Spain saw it on the internet and he wanted it for his museum. So I wasn't really thinking about selling it, and then he, you know, that famous line, he made me an offer I couldn't refuse. So we sold it and it became a job, and he liked it and he wanted another one after that. Everyone who comes through the museum says, I could never do this. Even though I tell everybody how to do it, I don't think most people have the patience to do it, so it's good job security for me. I'm not worried about giving away any secrets. I don't think there's somebody out there with just the right marbles loose to give me a run for my money.
How long do you spend on some of these?
However long it takes. And I don't always know going into it. Washington Monument, 5 hours. Some of these cathedrals I'm working on, 5 months. So somewhere between 5 hours and 5 months. The trick is, you look at the big picture. Today, I'm just gonna do the flat matte sheet for the base. That's all I'm gonna do today. I'll worry about tomorrow. Ironically, it was that same mentality that got me through the whole, my wife being sick and polycystic kidney disease, and we did the same thing. Let's do what we need to do today, and we'll worry about tomorrow. She knew back in her 20s that she had polycystic kidney disease. What she didn't know was that she also had polycystic liver disease on top of that. January 1st, New Year's Day, the pain was so much that she had to go to the emergency room, and it was that day that we said, we gotta go to the Mayo Clinic in Florida. We were doing home dialysis So we brought our dialysis machine, doing dialysis in the RV. It was tough to see her in so much pain. And I remember it was like March 9th or 10th where we said, listen, you got to change the MELD score because, sorry. Because my wife is dying, so you need. And I think they knew too, by the time they saw her and how bad she was. People would come into the museum and they'd say, why don't you do the La Sagrada Familia Cathedral in Spain? And I would just look at him and go, get out. It was the most difficult building I've ever seen. So to try to attempt it, when I knew I was going down to Florida, I said, listen, these are two of the most difficult things I've ever had to do. If I can do La Sagrada Familia, I can get through this. And I can help my wife get through this. March 11th, we get a phone call. We have an offer on a kidney and a liver. Would you like to take this? Call us back.
Dear donor, I don't know you or your family, but I think of you constantly. I am sitting here wrapping Christmas gifts with the smell of pies in the oven and my puppies staring at the sparkly lit Christmas tree. I anxiously await the joyous celebration with my family tomorrow. But instantly, I'm overcome with enormous sadness. I think of your family and how this first Christmas without you is horribly unbearable. I ask you, dear donor, to show them a sign. Let them be confident that I am taking good care of your liver and your kidney. And most importantly, that my husband, family, and friends are able to celebrate this Christmas with me only because of you. In your name, I offer my blessings and goodwill to all my family and friends. Rest in peace, my friend. I am forever indebted. Suzi. I thought for the longest time that we wanted to know the family. The Mayo Clinic allows you to write letters to them, and it is up to the family to acknowledge the letter. And we never heard back. And I thought that I would bring them great joy in knowing that I survived, and not only survived, but can enjoy the simplest things, you know. We celebrate, it's been a month and 2 years, a year and 2 days and things. And I thank God for them, it's an anniversary, but such a bad anniversary that they're thinking at the same time, God, it's 2 years. Maybe one day we'll hear from them, I don't know. The toothpick artwork that, engineering that he does is a talent that I can't even imagine anyone thinking of doing except this man. The buildings are gorgeous and I love the detail, but I love the Valentine's box made out of toothpicks with little toothpick candies. He did the flute out of toothpicks, which is unbelievable, the detail to something like that, because I used to play the flute. Those are the little talents that a lot of people don't see that are much more impressive to me than the buildings.
Design whatever you like. Make whatever you want out of toothpicks. It sounds simple, but it is. Only your imagination is your limit. I mean, whatever you want to do. But just start. Just start gluing. Your first time out isn't going to be the Taj Mahal, but you learn by doing. Experience is the best teacher.